6 o'clock, so we'll open the public hearing. So just a reminder, since we only do this once a year, we open up the public hearing. We will explain the budget and what we're looking at. We'll take any questions, answer questions. And we'll go out of the public hearing and into the meeting of the electors where you guys vote on things. And after that, go out of that and into the town board. So as of the hearing here, let me find my budget again, which somewhere under here. What's that?
I'll try to follow along.
No, I'm looking at yours too. Am I mistaken?
First above there is public hearing.
There we are, okay.
Yep. So, all right, so if everybody's got a summary sheet here. The local taxes are at $903,635, and that is a change of $122,811. Miscellaneous taxes are $63,250, and that's a change of negative $9,750. Intergovernmental revenues are $963,536, which is a change of $5,473. License and permits is $92,850, which is a change of $17,184. Fines and forfeitures, we don't have anything proposed for the budget, which is $1,500 less than last year. Public changes for services, $418,060 for a change of $56,202. Intergovernmental charges is $200, change of negative $200. General miscellaneous is $547,891, a change of $146,055. And use out of general fund is $184,617, and a change of $118,089. And the reason that one changed as much as it did is because that is where our truck is going to be coming out of the funds for that. So that is the reason for the increase on that. Under the expenses, general government is at $317,207, a change of negative $65,194. Public safety is at $642,273, a change of $81,039. Public works is at $1,679,384, a change of $340,878. Health and human services is $4,800, a change of negative $13,500. Economic development is $15,600, a change of negative $31,400. Debt services is $487,895, a change of $115,659. And capital outlay is $26,880, which is a change of that total of that's a new category we have in there. Total expenditures are $3,174,039 for a total change of $454,363. Biggest changes in there in public works for roads, we did go from about 450 to 700,000 for roads, and the garbage went up from, where was that at?
The biggest was more the ambulance.
Yeah, we did have a big change in the ambulance and the fire as well. Yeah, and I do have something here, I guess I forgot to read it right away. Lorelei wanted me to read a list of what we accomplished over the last year. As far as roads, we paved Mill Avenue, Camilla Court, Yorkshire Court, and Wilderness. We also chip sealed on 64th and no.
Mill Avenue.
Yeah.
Or chip seal.
chip sealed. Down off 73 there. Well, we chip sealed another 2 miles. Bell, yep. Yep. And we have figured in there for roads, we have Hollywood Road we're looking at doing for next year, and if we have enough funds, Sandy Springs Drive and Bainbridge Trail. To help with better communication, we are recording the town board meetings now to help make them more accessible. We've added the electronic sign, and we are currently in the process of redoing our website. We also added the new phone system, which has made it easier to get a hold of board members. We have updated infrastructure, replaced concrete apron in front hall. We replaced the gutter system on the town hall, replaced exterior lights and wiring, and we resurfaced parking lot and added handicap parking signage. And we figured in that we did go to purchase a new plow truck that'll be coming next year in April, I believe. We also have had electronic recycling events, along with clean sweep, and we bulk drop off, two bulk drop off events. And we have increased our efficiency by cutting meetings to 1 meeting a month, limiting the length of meetings to about 2 hours. Starting finishing tasks expediently. We started a tree trimming program after it had not been done for about 25 years, and we added signage to the transfer site brush site. So, I guess, does anybody have questions about where we're at with the budget? Okay, well, if there's no questions, can I get a motion from the board to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close public hearing.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. All right, we will now go into the meeting of the electors. So on the to-do list for that would be to approve the tax levy we have set forth here, and to either affirm the officers' wages or change them if you see fit. And the town board, none of the elected officials are looking to get an increase necessarily, so. I guess I'm looking for a motion from electors for,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
to approve the levy.
Approve the levy.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. All right, and as far as wages, keep them the same. I guess I'd like to hear at least a motion to keep them the same, if nothing else.
I'll make the motion to keep the elected officials' salaries at the same as last year.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. And unless anybody has anything else, I believe that concludes. So if I could get a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, we are now into the board meeting. Oh. Okay, do we have Zerflu here? We will, I was just gonna, move something up, but if we don't have Zerflu here, then I guess we don't really have much to discuss there, so. Okay, so stand for a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right.
Oh, now we can start.
All right, so now, the electors have approved the proposed budget along with the tax levy. So
Make a motion to pass it,
Adopt.
Adopt.
adopt it. I'll make the motion to adopt it.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That passes. All right. Update by constable.
So the report, only 4 complaints last month,
Okay,
mostly dogs.
all right.
That's all I have, unless someone has something for me.
Not particularly. Anybody else have any questions?
Boys, did you, get a follow-up on, a fence complaint on Ranger Road?
I have a voicemail at home, they called today, I haven't called them back yet.
Okay.
There was something about a fence though, on the property line.
Well, did Lorelei ever say anything about a fence on, Tesseville Road and County Trunk Z? Okay,
I drove past it. There's a fence, just a split rail fence, and it's only maybe 6 feet from the blacktop.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the one you're talking about.
on Ranger?
Yeah, it's just down from the shooting range a little ways,
So that might even be different than the one I got today.
on the south side of the road.
Both sides of the driveway, right?
Yep, both sides of the driveway.
Yeah, I got the same complaint.
I did drive past it, I did notice it is pretty close to the road.
I don't recall what the address is.
Ranger near the shooting place?
Yeah, it's about halfway between the shooting range and Z,
Okay.
on the south side of the road.
Is that a new fence or?
Yep, brand new fence, just a split rail.
All right.
Okay, I'll look into that one. And what about the one on Testerville?
There was a permit on it, but, after all we went through with the one on Wagon Wheel, I'm thinking that they have to be 50 feet from the right of way on a county trunk or state highway. I'm not sure of the ordinance, but there's no way they're 50 feet off the county trunk highway right away.
Okay.
And I'm not sure of the setback on a town road, but they're right on the power line.
Okay.
But, they say Lorelei was gonna look into, there is a permit on it, but, it doesn't look like it was put in quite like the permit shows.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll check on them or touch base with Laura or both, so.
All right. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Do you want the address for that Ranger Road?
If you got it, I'll take it.
868.
And I think the address on Tesseville is 418. It's right on the corner, on the south side,
Okay.
right on the
I know
corner
what
of
you're
Z
talking.
and Tesseville.
Okay.
You can't miss it.
Okay.
All right, then building inspector is not here. But you do have a report in front of you. Looks like an early start, new home and a few sheds. So. All right. Zoning administrator. She is not here and I don't have anything specifically from that. Well, there's several things coming up that we need to approve or whatever, in the agenda here. Road crew. What do you got, Caston?
The trucks are ready for salting, in case we need to in the morning. I doubt we will, but just ready.
Yep.
Still working on some right-of-way trimming, not the stuff under the Grant Dome, just some other areas we're trying to take care of.
Okay.
We finished the landscaping under the sign out front,
Okay.
so that's finally done. You got anything?
As you read, all our construction projects are finished. We did have a few issues, but them all been corrected, so pretty good shape on all of them.
Yep. All right. That it?
Yep.
You guys got any questions for them? Okay. All the equipment's ready for winter, seeing that it seems to be starting now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Planning commission, Josh?
We are gonna be talking about some of the things that we've been working on at items 16 through 18. Working on amending, fine tuning a couple of ordinances we got, and when we get those where we want them, we'll present them to the board.
Yep. All right. Work, clerk?
Election is done. I don't wanna see another one for a while.
Got one in the spring.
Well, yeah, but that's a few months yet. Yeah, this is busy. We had over 900 people came into the office to do in-person absentee voting. So out of our, what do we have, 3,100 and some odd voters total, there were 900 of them that Mary and I did here, so.
You said between them and the mail-in, it was over 1,200 that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, so I'm glad it's over.
And what was the total that registered the day of?
276. So
Almost
that was,
10% increase the day of.
yeah, but everything went good, so I'm
Yep.
just glad it's done.
Do you know what the percentage was?
For the turnout,
Total out of the 3,100?
oh gosh, we had, I'm trying to think how many registered voters we had, just over 3,000 we had before. And I'm trying to think if we have 3,305 now. So, I mean, we had 3,193 ballots cast, so a pretty high turnout.
So roughly 95%.
That's awesome.
That's pretty, I mean, that was the numbers pretty much across the state, wasn't it?
95%? Was it?
Yeah.
All right, treasurer?
Tax collection is coming up. The county has said that they're not gonna start printing tax bills until December 2nd. Our tax letter is already on our website, so someone can go to our website and see the days of collection and the hours of collection. Where they can pay, which is here at the town, Nacusa State Bank, they can mail them in, or they can go to Point and Pay, which is the online payment. And then, I think that's it.
Okay.
So they can be on the lookout, their gift from Santa.
All right. So down to approval of previous minutes. Got a chance to look at them?
I didn't see nothing wrong, so I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. Got a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. So Public Works request for purchase of equipment. Should have two sheets in there. One of them is for the loader from Service Motor Company, and one is a handwritten estimate from Service Motor Company for bucket, rook grapple, and forks. So, Caston, what can you say about it?
We would like the loader attachment for our case tractor, which right now is only for sweeping and slight shoulder repair with the backplate on it. But we'd like to add a loader attachment because we can make it more versatile, use it year round. The bucket, you can use it for moving things around, hauling things. If we had to load the trucks with salt, in the event the case loader doesn't work, it's always nice to have a backup loader, or the large end loader doesn't work, we have a backup we can have. As well as getting forks for it, so we can utilize pallet storage. We have a hard time moving heavy things around a lot in the shop. Can't really bring the loader in there, the big loader in there so easily. And then we can also convert the broom to plate up to the new loader attachment on the case tractor. So,
Do you know what the cost is on getting that broom modified over?
we would just do it. We just, I believe it's in the quotes, a blank plate that we would mount ourselves to our broom to make it quick attach.
Now, I see hydraulic lines for broom, but you guys would be doing that modification yourself then?
Yeah, that would be that well.
All right,
As well as the brush grapple for brush removal, more
Okay.
efficient.
okay. Yeah, it does not include transportation or relocation of additional hydraulic lines for the broom. Okay, so you guys can move those hydraulic lines yourself, is what you're saying? Or,
No, there is a separate one for the
okay,
moving the hydraulic lines. They couldn't make a quote at first because they didn't know how to go about it, but eventually they did send one.
Okay, do you know what that is? Because the one I have here says, without, do you know if there was an updated?
This was the last I've seen, so I don't,
The last
wanna
one was
take
sent
a look
directly
at-
to Lorelei, and that was a week
Do you remember
ago.
what that was for cost?
Around 1,100.
Just for the moving of the
Moving
lines?
of the hoses, yeah, and remounting all that, because it'd be a whole new mounting bracket for the hoses as well.
Yeah, okay. All right, approximately 1,100?
Yeah.
Okay, so that puts us up to about 12,960, somewhere around there, for the loader and with moving those hoses.
Okay,
Is that correct?
that sounds about right.
Okay. All right, and then you've got bucket, rook grapple, and forks here.
Bucket grapple forks, yes.
Is there a specific reason these were picked?
Yes.
Why is that?
Bucket grapple forks?
Well, just these specific ones.
No, that was just all from them, bids from them. We
Okay.
can find a bucket and forks for extremely cheaper.
Well, I
Market.
was looking at these, and actually this bucket, when I looked up the specs on that loader's got a lifting capacity of 3,000 pounds. And that bucket's got a load capacity of 1.3 yards, which will mean that's overloaded with a full bucket.
It depends what you lift.
Salt.
Well, salt and sand is roughly 2,700 pounds per
Salt
yard.
is 2,000 a yard.
So,
That's
okay,
the bigger bucket's better than the smaller bucket. Utilize the space for anything else too.
right. But, okay, so there's,
But we probably won't get new, but that's what the price of new is. We wanted to get a firm estimate on what
okay,
cost of a brand new forks, bucket, and grapple will cost. Grapple will probably be brand new. We don't plan on getting anything used for a grapple.
okay. Well, I've done a little looking at this since I've seen it, and we found some even new for much less. I think if on a grapple for somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000,
Yeah.
and an 84-inch utility bucket with the bolt-on edge I could find for between 12 and 15.
way
So,
cheaper, yeah.
and I think the pallet forks here for $9.95, I think I've seen them right around 6.
You can get those for even cheaper used in good, relatively good shape too.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure you weren't looking at necessarily exactly.
No, she wanted brand new quotes for everything.
Okay.
She knew that we would probably end up going with used for some of that or cheaper models.
Okay. All right, because I do have some here that, just looking at Facebook and,
Okay.
you know, there's some, kind of get an idea what we could get.
Yep.
Not that these would necessarily be available anymore, but,
Yeah, because we already came across forks and buckets on surplus for much cheaper, that ended up leaving for cheaper,
okay,
so significantly cheaper than what those cost.
all right. Do you guys have any questions?
So she wanted these just for like the highest
Baseline,
possible
yeah.
baseline?
Do we have a rough estimate of what the used stuff would be? I mean, this is the top of, what's the,
If you wanna look at those,
what's our bottom dollar?
those are just ones I've been looking at, and some of those are new. I mean, that grapple's new for 15 out of Reedsburg.
Grapples are pretty picky though, you wanna get pretty heavy duty with those. I've seen grapples that people buy for about $1,500 to $2,000, and you'll just destroy them.
This one has 3/4 inch steel on it. I did look up. You can
Okay, so-
find some as low as 12, and
Same with.
they're pretty cheap.
Same with forks too, you don't wanna get something.
Right.
Yeah, not too cheap, yeah,
Well, yeah, you can get a set of forks for about 400, but then
Bend
they're
over like a noodle.
yeah.
they've got a lifting capacity of about 2,000 pounds versus
Mhm.
4,000. So, and quite frankly, with that loader, it's not a terribly powerful loader, so I don't think there's a use in getting necessarily the extreme duty top of the line, because you're kind of over, you know, you're overdoing what that loader can actually handle anyways.
Yeah,
So,
I can see that.
I guess I would split this off into at least two sections, do the loader, and then we can do a motion about attachments after that, but.
Okay. So the loader, we're at like 13?
It's gonna be right around 13. We don't have an exact amount on the,
Yeah, they said
on
the
moving, but that will be necessary to
of the
move those
hoses and
lines.
moving the brackets around. They said that their estimate was very rough, so it was bound to change. They can't give, the 1,100 is the most accurate thing they could give us, but they said that's not gonna be that when it's all done.
I would say in the end, we'd be looking at between 13 and 14 by the time it's, and we do have to transport that as well, so that'll be,
200, 250 at most.
is that all? Well, it's less than what I figured, but, okay,
That was Francis Trucking,
okay.
that was his.
So all said and done, we're at 14 or so by the time we transport, make sure those are moved without attachments.
Is this something that's gonna be after the first of the year, or still in this budget for this year?
When are you looking at?
Well, now that sign's done, we changed the boulder. First of the year would be the best then. I wouldn't say we need it in December.
Are they
Not-
looking for
not
payment
urgently.
when we drop it off, or looking for payment when we get it back, or what's
I believe they want payment before they can start,
before starting?
yeah. So you're probably talking maybe a month and a half, 2 months out then, after they start.
Okay. Do you know how soon they can get all this in for it?
That's constantly changing, so it's probably different than what it was before.
I would say with a well, not quite a month and a half left here, if we wanted to get it right away in that time, we would probably have to have it on this year's, not next year's.
Or at least get it started.
We could probably hold off on all the attachments until next year.
We have the money in the.
Yeah, what are
this
we
budget?
looking,
Do
What's
we have
that?
the money in this budget for this?
I'd have to go pull that, grab my last trial balance that I did.
You wanna grab that real quick?
Yep.
What's that?
Probably around 19, 15.
13.5 is what I.
Yeah, 13.5 or so, so figure about 14 or so. And it would not be able to be used because it does not come with a bucket or anything, so we would have to get something, but that's,
You should get one of them right away so you can use it when you get it.
Yeah,
Right.
I would prioritize the forks over everything right off the bat. If we can only get one for
I
now,
think the forks,
yeah.
when I figured for the winter, you'd want the bucket right away.
You got the loader though for the bucket.
Yeah.
We do, in case of an emergency, we just use the county till we can. I would like we'd utilize the forks most.
Okay. But even if we tell them next week that we want, you know, and send a check, we're probably not looking at getting that installed until after the first of the year, right?
Yeah, most likely,
So we could go pick up one of the attachments still after the first, if we could.
probably.
Okay.
They're gonna be a quick release.
It'd be like a skid steer attachment.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Skid steer quick attach, or universal quick attach, I guess they call it.
Guess we'll find out if we got any money or not. That's the
Right.
thing.
I think there was some money left last time we looked.
Probably from that trailer.
Well, we did, yeah, part of that, the trailer, what did that sell for, 11,000? It was 11 even?
I think it was 11 even, yeah.
So that's a good portion of that loader.
And that's what we were,
And that was the reason
That's
we
what it was
sold
allotted
too.
for.
November
Yes.
14th, and
do that.
so here's where street maintenance starts. And then I'll have, that's what we budgeted, or that's what, where we're at, that's what was budgeted.
Okay. All right, so total for Public Works, we budgeted 1,338,506. We are currently at 1,308,435. Now, we do have to do some plowing, some wages for the year yet. But it's looking like we have about 30,000 left, so it'll take
we
them.
use about half of that then.
Yeah, so that would put us right about at our budgeted amount. That
Now, is
sounds,
this-
unless there's something you know that's coming in,
Cause that was
is that after we paid for
the roads.
mill and
yes,
everything?
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, unless there's stuff coming that I don't.
What about
There
the,
was something on the
what
budget.
about the county wilderness, was that,
That was in there too.
that's in there too?
Mhm.
Okay.
That was the last project, right?
Yeah, Mill Avenue was paid for, okay. I thought I said.
So I'll make a motion to approve the loader attachment for the, that's a case, right?
Yeah.
For the case 3230 tractor
Mm-hmm.
with one attachment for 15,000 or less.
Okay, including moving the hydraulic lines for the road.
Yes, yeah, that was, we thought
Yes.
1,100 or 1,300, something like that, yeah.
All right. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, passes.
Whichever attachment works the best for you guys. I mean, it was 15,000 with the loader, moving all the stuff in one attachment. Whichever one you.
Under that motion,
Appreciate it.
you don't need that attachment to come from there too, dude.
What's that?
Your intent wasn't necessarily keep your attachment from
Or,
Service
That's
Motor
what I
Company,
got.
was it?
No, it,
Okay.
it's just 15,000 for wherever.
That's fine.
Whatever what's most advantageous for the town.
There you go.
so it was the attached, the loader with the,
There you go.
You said $15,000 or
15,000.
less.
15,000 or less.
okay,
Okay, that's including the attachment.
Yes,
One
Okay.
attachment.
Yes.
one attachment. yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we got that. All right, so next on the list is,
Are we? Sorry, go ahead.
Compensation.
Are we, talking about the rest of the attachments next year then? Or
Well-
do we wanna talk about? Well, we just approved the budget, so we know how much is there, we haven't used any.
Maybe if they do some wheeling and dealing, maybe they can get the attachments they want from that.
We can hold off on the second two attachments until we get what we have coming already.
We're not gonna be doing any brush in the near future.
Right. Alright,
I'm more of a fan of just making a motion and get it done, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And we just make a motion, we do now make those purchases till after the first of the year.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Maybe get get some more accurate bids.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is like, what are we gonna,
Well, we could say,
Well, it's, the cost of those units and its equipment, we don't necessarily have to get bids on these. We can make a motion for a dollar amount and to purchase the product that's most advantageous to the town. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the
So-
cheapest, doesn't necessarily have to
I mean,
be,
if I look at these new, which we're not gonna go new, and say 5,000 or less.
yeah, that should be fine. And, yeah, to be purchased after January 1st. Is that your motion?
Yes, that's my motion. I don't know how you wanna word it. My motion is to, purchase the other two attachments for the Case 3230 tractor after the first of the year.
Yep.
For $5,000 or less. Whatever is most advantageous to the town.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
can we have a little discussion first?
Sure.
Don't we just want them to? I guess I'm under the way I've always seen it done is, what if it goes over 5,000, then you gotta come back and then we gotta approve that? I mean,
Keep in mind, some of these quotes were for new equipment, straight off of dealer lot.
yeah.
I was
So-
going off of these numbers here.
We can,
So I'd sort of rather have him go out, find what he wants.
That's hard, cause a lot of that stuff sells so quickly.
You
The
gotta
market-
be-
So you just gotta be there, ready to jump on it.
That's mostly what it is, yeah, cause we already missed our opportunity with a couple sets of forks and buckets that we could have if we had the money at the time. And now that specific deal is gone with that price range for that size.
Okay,
a
so
lot of this is dependent on steel prices as they come in, they go
Yeah.
out.
is
a lot of
5,000 gonna be
variables.
enough then?
I don't see any reason why 5,000 wouldn't, to be honest. For the attachments they're looking at, the root grapple and the,
Could you say 5,000 and then if it goes over, have the chairman authorize an additional in the event that that happens outside of the board?
Well, I guess, we're probably not gonna buy them both right at the same time, right? It's just
As we, yeah.
as it comes, so I guess after they buy the first one, they should have a better idea then. Okay, I didn't know it was such an extreme.
That's how a lot of this stuff is in the market.
So like new, they don't have multiple of the item, it's just.
Knew
here's
you
one.
could, knew you could. but
Brand
then
new
you're
you
paying
could.
good money for it.
But we wanna save a little bit of money, that's the
Right.
goal.
let's
And-
see, I mean, there's a couple deals, $1,000 for a 84-inch bucket with a bolt-on edge, which
Mhm.
it's $2,000 bucket. You know, it'd be nice to be able to snap something like that up rather than,
Rather than they bring it to us and then,
right.
Yeah.
okay.
There's a time involved where if you
Especially
find a
when-
good deal, it's gone before we can take
We
action.
could buy these brand new ones that we know are in stock for $61.45, but
Okay.
we know we're not gonna buy these new ones, so that's where my 5 came
Well,
from.
hopefully the steel prices don't go up then. If it's dependent on steel prices, what I just was told, so,
Yeah,
okay. Sounds like the motion passed already, so we're good to go.
Well, you didn't vote.
Well,
It
we
doesn't-
can go back and revote. All those in favor?
Cause usually it's a motion, second, discussion, then vote, right?
Yes.
Okay, so.
All those,
Aye.
all those opposed? All right, motion passes. All right. All right. So, number 7, request for compensation. You should have a sheet in your thing here. Gaston, you want to explain that?
That was Tom's request.
Oh, yeah, so the concrete for the town hall, in front of the town hall, behind the town hall for the dumpster pad, and then we did an extra spot underneath one of the gutters, and the rear door, or the east man door for our shop. That was just due to extra concrete, that we utilized. We would not have done any of that if it wasn't for Tom. He has experience pouring concrete, he's been doing it for years. I never poured concrete. We probably wouldn't have done concrete, or if we would have hired it out, it would have been significantly more. So we decided to let Tom rent us some of his equipment to make the job cheaper than hiring it out. Or we probably wouldn't have actually hired it out, just would have never gotten new concrete in front of the town hall, it would have been torn out and just left, as rock. But we saw concrete as a better fit, looks cleaner, less maintenance, no growth in it. Like rock would grow things, you get leaves, everything would build up. So Tom wrote an invoice out for his specialized tools as a rental to the town hall, and the price is, it was about $590,
505.
$505,
505.
yeah, $505. So he looked at rental prices all around town, mainly Premier Rental.
Okay,
and went
so
based off of that.
I guess, is there a reason why we did not rent these from a rental company that's insured and all that?
It was cheaper for him a little bit.
And when I looked up some of these are basically the rental prices that you can get them from a rental company.
Okay. Well,
So, I mean, that's, I guess what I'm wondering is why we didn't just rent them from a rental company that already is equipped to do that.
it just would have been a lot of rental stuff, and then you have to,
Well, we already did
Day
rent some
by
equipment,
day.
right?
we did, but we knew how long we'd be using those for, more controlled.
Okay.
Which we've rented something from him in the past, haven't we?
No, he just kinda brought stuff and used it here,
Um,
cause we don't have a lot of specialty tools really.
Yeah, I know.
So that was kinda the history of town, guys always bring their own tools to use at the shop, just cause we don't have a whole lot. So he's always been very generous with his tools in the past, even using them without
Right.
charging a thing. And his trailer, that's been used before without being charged.
Yeah, I guess, what do you guys think? What's your thoughts?
Well, like you said, even if it's the same price as renting it from a different company, we're renting it from his company. And if it's the same price, we had to rent it anyways.
Is it from a company though, or is it from, some of that matters as far as
I think he has a
insurance
business,
wise.
don't he? Oh, he's not a business?
He does side work,
Oh, so I'm thinking there's something there if he's doing side work.
yeah. He does construction constantly.
But I mean, that being said, it's pretty clear in a rental agreement what happens if a piece of equipment breaks, if we
Well,
break
that's-
it or something like that.
That's just, I don't have a problem compensating him for the rental of his personal equipment, but I think we should price it out a little bit better next time.
Do it that way. You don't have to run to the store,
Or at least have a
pick up the
contract,
items.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You're
mean,
kinda
have-
at their will, you have
have
to
some-
return it then, or if you have it for an extra day, where you wanna use a tool the next day, but if you gotta rent it for a whole other day, it's like, I think you pay an extra
I
amount.
guess to me, there's some liability issues though.
I would like to look into the liability and see what we can and can't do in the future, and if nothing else, have some sort of agreement in line.
I'd say in the future, rent it.
Just rent it from the rental
Right.
company.
Well, and
Don't-
certain
don't do
dollar
that.
amounts you have to have for that workman's, I think it's the workman's comp report.
600.
You have to have the certificate of insurance and everything,
Mhm.
and
That's over
1099s.
600, yeah.
Mhm.
1099 is 600.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you still, with the
This is under
vendors, you need to
600
have
significantly.
certificate of insurance.
Yeah,
and-
it gets a little dicey using
Yeah.
private equipment,
Right.
when we're talking this stuff, and I think from my opinion anyways, from this point on, I'd like to see if the rental's available to rent it. If not, then we can discuss something, if there's something that the rental company doesn't have.
That's fair,
Um,
we can do that from now
It
on.
may cost us more, it may take some more running, but I think that's the safer way to do it. And if something would break, who's responsible for that at that point? If we rent it, we know the responsibility, it's right in the contract.
Mhm.
If we're getting it as a loan from a friend, it gets dicey.
I'll make a motion for a one-time reimbursement to Tom Bauer for the use of his personal tools for a town project in the amount of $505.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Discussion?
Yeah. Do we have discussion? All those in favor?
Alright.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. All right. So the next two here, they are in the mail, they are not here yet, so we cannot do anything on number 9 or number 10. Or, I'm sorry, number 8 or 9 there, for the mobile home park there.
That's basically gonna be tabled till next meeting then?
Yeah, so we're gonna table that unless
That'd be tabled.
somebody else
next
has.
meeting.
Table 8 and 9?
Okay, so number 10, Richard Gorski is. Okay. You had requested to be on the town, be on here?
Yeah, it's about the trailer
Yep,
and the land,
yep,
and I don't know what to do. I can't get it off by the end of this month. But
okay,
there's been a lot of issues too, and I have done a lot to go forward. I mean, I purchased a house, the cabin. I wanna do a building permit like next week. It's about measurements and blueprints and all this stuff I just have no knowledge of. It's a custom built log cabin,
right,
and it's stored right now, like 5 miles down the road from my house, in a pole building. So, I got the footing started for the quick start, but I botched something up, and then when I talked to Jason, he said until he knows about the house itself, and if the foundation would support it, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't go forward.
Jason, are you talking Josh?
Josh, I'm sorry, yeah, sorry,
Yep.
Josh. And, like I said, I would ask if we can make an agreement, because there's been 2 or 3 years where nothing was said or nothing was done from the first year.
To be honest, that's part of the problem, though, the original
I
board had
understand.
made, had told you a timeline when you needed to get something done, and
I understand.
we
that.
still haven't seen any significant progress on that
But
project.
there has been. I mean, if I had built the basement, it would have cost me 18,000 or more, and I still wouldn't have had a house. I got the footings, and I got the, it's gonna be a footing with 10-inch block, 4-foot frost wall, and the house is gonna sit on that. But, building inspector needs to know that the foundation is gonna be strong enough to hold the log cabin.
Okay,
Which it is, but he has to see it. Then me and Lorelei talked, and I have a receipt to show you that the house is paid for. And, so I was gonna come back this week and get a building permit for a pole building. And
Okay.
start, on building this pole building, then when I go to Bob's house and I start pulling this stuff out of his pole building, I can get better measurements for what building inspector's asking for, the beam sizes, window sizes, door sizes, they're all stacked. in-
problem with the pole building, though, that's not a residence,
I understand that,
and right now, we're talking about a residence on that property.
right?
That does not fit our ordinances.
I have no way of giving you guys the truth. I can do a floor plan and it's a custom built, so as you go out and dry it in, you'll have better for, what the bedroom size is, what the bathroom, what the kitchen. I've never seen this house though.
Right.
And there's no doubt in my mind that it's not gonna pass every code there is to pass. But I don't know how to take it apart so I can draw it up into a print for the building inspector.
So what are you asking for?
If we could just come with an agreement, no more like June, the trailer's gone. Either on or before June. No, there's a reason why. My daughter-in-law is gravely ill of cancer, and you guys probably know it, or know of her. and, she's only 30 years old, and they just live down the road. They're just a lot. My wife left. I had a bad, experience in the hospital where I almost went out the other end and had 5 surgeries on one arm. And so I just till June, and it's gone. I can either before or at June. And just, if I gotta pay for a permit till then, I just need a little time to get back going again. I don't know what's gonna happen in the divorce yet, because the lawyer just told me stop everything. Because when they evaluate what you're doing out there, well, you're gonna have to 50-50 it.
Okay.
And I've been with Lorelei, communicating with her. I show you the receipt, bill of sale for the home.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So the thing was, is if I did the 4-foot frost wall, that's what I'd have, a 4-foot frost wall. And so I thought if I did the building, or the pole building, then as I'm pulling the log cabin out of the guy's pole building, I can get the measurements, I get the size of the beam, size of the window, size of the door. And until I can pull it apart and dissect it, can I really give you guys a true and honest measurement?
Well, to be honest, nobody here is worried about the measurements. That's, as far as the building inspector goes, he's worried about that.
Right.
So, we could care less about the measurements as long as it fits our minimum, building standards.
Whatever building code is.
Right. So that doesn't really mean, the building size doesn't mean much to us.
Right.
Our concern right now is that we have a unit on there that does not fit our ordinances, and it's gone well past the reasonable time to be off.
It has.
The original extension was given 3 years ago.
Right.
Right. But now, almost the first year, it was like it is now, you know, get it off, do this, do that, and I had a shipping container. So the agreement was get rid of your shipping container and the trailer can stay. Now, the trailer is not a condemnable trailer. It's decent and solid. However, I
But at the
agree
time it
with
was moved in there, we had already not allowed those
you. Okay,
trailers in.
now going through this divorce, she took $55,000 that was supposed to be for the build of the house. What am I gonna do?
Well, I do apologize with you here, but that's not
I
something we can
understand,
take
but
into account.
I'm asking for a little more time. It's been how many years already? So what, it's 6 more months, if I gotta pay for a permit. And it's like a contract deal between us. June, it's gone.
We don't have any
I'm by
permits.
myself, I got 2 dogs, I don't know. And here's the other thing, I've been, communicating with the trailer courts. And then, Miggy, who had brought it out there, see, I didn't take that trailer and go out there. Me and Miggy got into a little spout, and he just delivered it before I could talk to you guys and see if I could even have it out there. And that's how the trailer got there. It was never supposed to be dropped out there until I talked to you guys, because I didn't know. But that's, you know, I didn't go against you guys and have it deliberately dropped out there, you know, to go against the grain. I never knew I was on the road driving truck when I got a call from Lorelei, hey, what are you doing putting a trailer out there? And I was as shocked as she was. So I just, if we could go, if you could just give me that grace period till June, I promise you everything I stand for, either now till June, but June would be the deadline that it would be off, guaranteed, I promise you.
Yeah,
just-
why will it be off in June?
3 times.
Why?
Why will it be off in
Well,
June?
because I'll have a lot more done. See, I don't know what's gonna happen. If I have to give her $100,000, it's all gonna get sold anyways, and the trailer will be off before June. If I lose in court, I lose the land. So then, the trailer has to come off. I don't know what's gonna happen until I go to court with her. If I had done the frost wall and the footing, she'd be entitled to half of it.
So we need to. So because you don't wanna pay your ex-wife more or something, we have to wait.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Because anything
It's
you
not what I'm saying.
do,
I'd
she
rather
might
have
be
this done
entitled
in
more.
June, or July, or August, but to do it in November, it's a little harsh. But there's no excuse then, huh?
Well,
I
the
don't wanna
original
argue,
was
I
we
don't
wanted to
fight.
see
If I
progress by September. That's the reason September
Right,
was it.
right.
So that could come off at a reasonable time.
But then that was the frost wall, or the basement foundation. And that's the other thing, if I do the building permit, I'll also get the quick start and get on the foundation too. I mean, the only thing I can tell you that I still went forward through whatever's happened in my life, is I did purchase the house. And I purchased it in a short period of time, it wasn't like, you know, it just, I have to get prints and stuff to the building inspector where he's gonna, and I don't know if I can do that in that period of time, but I can get a building permit, I can start getting the pole drilling, pulling the log cabin over. I just don't know all the measurements that Josh needs to know,
Do you
like a
have,
floor plan.
do you have a,
Huh?
do you have a list of the measurements he needs? Like, do you have, has Josh
I
provided
got a
you?
book here that just got pictures, some measurements.
Did Josh give you a list of the measurements he needs in order to,
No,
for you to
no,
obtain
he
a
just
building
told me
permit?
that I had to have 8% of light in the house through the windows, and I said, here, if you look at the pictures, you'll see all the windows are bigger than code. You know, they're 50-some inches by 50-some inches. And there's French doors and a service door.
And is this building erected right now?
No,
It's not up, it's in pieces?
Mhm.
Okay. So there'd be no way that you could give that,
no, and then trying to get them a floor plan.
So how do you pour the footings and get a frost wall put up if you don't know the dimensions of the building?
Oh, no, I know the footings foundation, it's 30.7 by 42.9.
Okay.
And then there's a footing going through the middle of it. And it's a 2-bedroom with a loft, and then this side's wide open, you know, on the other side. I got pictures, and I don't mean to, honest to God, I don't mean to cause a problem. I really don't. If I could pay for a permit to, like I did the first year,
What, do you know what permit that
it was
was?
a manufactured, temporary manufactured home permit.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't?
As far as I'm aware, we don't have a permit along those lines.
Oh, I thought that's what it was. Maybe that was the agreement.
That's
If
not
I got
something
rid
we
of the
allow.
shipping container, then I could keep the trailer there.
On this letter, Chase, it says a temporary special exception was granted to you October 21st. So, may have been a unique,
and then,
As far as I'm aware, we're not really allowed to put a fee on something like that, right?
There's no fee on it.
Right.
I'm not
There's nothing we can charge, there's no special permit we
and
can charge.
after that special exception granted in October of 21, there was another special exception granted